Hi folks, this is a new tutorial on the transient processor in FL Studio. I think it started from FL Studio 20, so you'd need FL 20 upwards, but it's a very good tool. What it does is it kind of cleans things up and it adds a little bit of added transients dynamics to the sounds, allows them to stand out or sit back a little bit more. So yeah, I'm just going to go through just a couple of three noises that I would generally put the transient processor onto just to give the track a little bit more balance and a bit of tightness to it as well. So they'll generally would be going on the kick drum and loops, but it can go on anything really. So I'll just load one up on the kick drum. And let me just play that onwards. So the kick drum, one, go. So when you load it up, it doesn't actually do anything. It should just play the sound as it normally is. So we'll just sort of play a little loop here. I haven't really EQ'd anything yet. I've just literally put the sounds in and just volumed them to suit at the moment. So with the kick drum, I mean, the kick drum sits quite well, so you don't have to use this all the time. But I might just put a little bit on in this case, just to get the kick drum just sort of punching out a little bit more. And then we'll get the loops sort of sitting back a little bit more, but without sort of voluming them down or losing any kind of point of the sound. So it'll still be there. So with the kick drum, generally I'd load one up. Got an attack and a release on it. So the release just releases the sound forward a bit more. Less release would sort of rein in the sound a little bit. The attack would shoot the sound out a little bit more. So with the kick drum, if you just focus on the kick drum, yeah, so the attack for this, I would start with the attack first, just click it out a little bit more on the kick. It's really important for when your main sections come in because you've got a lot more going on in the track and in certain stages. So this just allows that kick drum just to click out a little bit more. It's like putting a little bit of a click on the kick drum. There's a bit of top end just to punch it through, really. Then the release, I'll sort of exaggerate it so you can hear the differences, but too much release will just sort of make it boxy and blow out almost. So if we just play it and turn the release up. I generally just trim the release off a little bit. So if you've got any tail end of kick drums that you might not want, and you might just want it sitting back a little bit so it doesn't clash with your bass line, and you want to turn your release down a bit. It's also handy if you're using kicks from loops as well, because it might have a little bit in that loop at the end of the kick where you don't want it so much, so you can rein it off with the release. So for example, like this has actually got a hi-hat in. We'll actually show you the put the hi-hat in this one. Just hear that hi-hat just sort of not being there as much. So you can actually, if you're using loops with kicks in and you want to use that kick, you can actually just rein in what's after that with the release. So yeah, that sounds okay. So with the loops as well, I'm using two loops. I've just put them in the same channel. Yeah, so this for loops is really good as well. Using more the release, so you might have a little bit of splashiness in the loop with the clap or something like that. So you might want to just rein those back in a little bit and just sort of make them a little bit stabbier and tighter. So it kind of doesn't sound as wishy-washy and it's a bit tighter on everything and it'll just allow you to have space within your tune. So yeah, with the loop or loops. Yeah, put it on full, it'll just splash everywhere. Yeah, go with that. I'll even put another loop in now, something techno-y. Like that one there, that's quite sort of techno based. Send that in the same channel. I'll turn it down a little bit to be a bit loud. So this will be a bit sort of claggy and yeah, you see the difference there. So if we turn it off, we'll just play the loop now. It's off. This is with it on now with a little bit of release down, probably about halfway down from the middle, so it's quarter of the way. Now we play it. You just move it to suit, really. You might want a little bit sort of coming out release wise. Use your ears really and judge it how you feel you want it. It is subjective to how much you want on there. It's all depends on what loops they are, what it's got in there. If there's anything kind of too much, you can just rein it back in with that release. So then when your bass line comes in, maybe play the pitch with that loop. You can use it on the clap as well. Let's do it on the clap. To the channel. You can even do it on the clap. If your claps are a little bit sort of pish, whoosh, washy, you might want to tighten them up rather than use the envelopes. You can use it like an envelope, really, because you've got your attack and release. It's just hissing out a little bit. So we just play the clap, turn it up a little bit. So, because smoothly the volume does go down slightly with it. So let's have a listen. So into the clap now. Yeah, so it's a lot tighter now. So let's play it with and without. So with it all on the clap, on the loop, on the kick drum. It's all with on. We'll turn those off, including the kick drum. And then you'll notice the difference. It'll just be a bit splashy and it's just too much. Just gets in the way. Things will get in the way later on in the tune. So you can judge it to suit. You don't have to have it really tight on the release. You can have a little bit of release just to rein it in and push enough out of the sounds just so it allows room for other stuff. So this is with again. loop in, see what it goes like. In there. So again, we'll send this through a separate channel because we might want to EQ this differently to the others because it's got a bit of dynamics to it. But we can still put the transient processor on and we can just rein in parts of it. Even have the attack less on it and have the release right up on it just to give it a bit of a spaciness. Might work. In this case, I'd actually take away that first hit noise. And this is a little tool as well where you can, providing you've got this function here off, you can actually choose part of the loop. Let's put those in. So you're not actually stretching the loop. So you need to make sure this here is off for that. So you can actually choose parts of the loop. Now I'm thinking that should just go in there like that. Not have that start noise, just have the other bit, and then we can hone that in a little bit. So yeah, let's see how that goes. So put it in the right place. Put your noises in the right places that you had them. So just got that noise now. Yeah. So yeah, that is the transient processor. That's the way I would use it. Just literally for making noises sit back a little bit loops wise, so it allows other noises to cut through a little bit more, and also for the kick drum to get rid of that sort of tail end that you don't maybe need on the bass line that it hits with. So you can just hone in sounds a little bit more with the transient processor. So yeah, very, very useful tool. Feel free to use it in FL. Thank you.